Hello, Jacob here with the Minnesota Vikings Week 6 preview. So without further ado, let's get into it. The Minnesota Vikings will be hosting the Philadelphia Eagles this week at US Bank Stadium. Both teams are currently 3-2 on the season, and both are, very, very, very similar to each other this year. In that they both have some questionable losses, they both have some solid wins. They both have question marks on their team, like really big question marks, and they both are in the hunt for the wild card, if not their respective division. So this game is going to be huge for us, especially because the Philadelphia Eagles are quickly catching the Cowboys, who, let's just say, are who we thought they were. Bunch of choke artists. But anyway, I can kind of also say the same thing about the Vikings because we have yet to beat a team above 500. Even though if Kirk Cousins would have run the ball in Green Bay, woulda, coulda, shoulda, blah, 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 all that stuff. Now we just got to focus on the Philadelphia Eagles. The key is going to be stopping Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, if they play, by the way. That running game, which they're getting going. Well, just ask Green Bay how their running game went. Yeah. It's amazing what you can do when you have a decent offensive line and a good run game, ain't it? But anyway, another topic for a different day there. So, the Minnesota Vikings, the keys are always the same. Can we stop them? Can Kirk Cousins deliver on offense? Can our defense stop anything? So, as I said before, Kirk Cousins, being a former Washington Redskin, has seen his fair share of Eagles games. Granted, that doesn't really mean anything, but it's always kind of nice that, the quarterback that you're playing with has a very, 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 he knows the, Eagles. Granted, as I said before, that doesn't mean anything because it's a new year, new team, and all that stuff. But are the Philadelphia Eagles receivers going to hang on to the ball? Because that seems to be their biggest problem this year, was a lot of injuries to their star players. Which, if they're injured and we can exploit that, will work tremendously for us. Just, that's one, two less players we have to worry about. And Deshaun Jackson has had a history against the Vikings. 2013 to be exact. But anyway, even though we did win that game, but no defense was played at all that game. But that was the Leslie Frazier era. This is the Mike Zimmer era. Plus, this is, the second time we've played the Eagles since the infamous 38-7 game in the NFC Championship in 2017. And this is the first time the Eagles will be playing at US Bank Stadium since, their Super Bowl win. Yeah. Still kind of salty about that, but what can you do? So, the key is going to be getting after Carson Wentz, as I've stated before. Can we get after, their receiving core? Will Xavier Rhodes actually be a factor this fucking week? For crying out loud, Xavier. What's going on, dude? And then also, can Kirk Cousins, are we going to get the same Kirk Cousins we got last week, or are we going to get the Green Bay Packers or Chicago Bears Kirk Cousins? Which I will say, the Green Bay Kirk Cousins wasn't that bad, but the Bears Kirk Cousins, oh, Jesus. Oh. So hopefully we never have another game like that. But if we can get the New York Giants and the you like that Kirk Cousins, I really like our chances. Because, to be fair, their secondary really doesn't scare me at this point. Now, they do have a decent run defense, I will say that, but the key is who is going to win the trenches. And then, of course, Dan Bailey, can he keep up, his ways? It's amazing what happens when you have a steady holder and a steady, special teams unit for once. By the way, congratulations, Dan Bailey, for winning the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. So, yeah, as I stated before, this is going to be a very, very tough matchup. Both sides are going to have to bring their A game. Now, I will say, it's nice that it's at home. which is nice because it seems like this is the first time we've actually played the Eagles at home in like 5 years. But anyway, so also shout out to Mighty Fan, who I know is a diehard Eagles fan, and all that stuff. So, but if we can take care of our business, play our style of football, we should walk away from here. And if not, 3-3, I mean, it's not impossible to come from, but the way this team has been looking this year, I really hate to say it would be over, but it'd be very difficult. To be fair, though, as I said before, the NFC is holy crap, is it congested. From the top down, really. I mean, you have, obviously, the elite teams right now, and then you have the teams like us, where there's like, 4 or 5 teams that are like the exact same record as each other. And I don't know if you know that, but kind of creates a logjam effect. So within these next couple weeks, we'll really get a true test to see which Vikings team is going to show up and if we have a playoff contending team. Otherwise, this could be a long off season. And also, before I get off line here, the NFL of refereeing is a freaking joke. I mean, what the hell is a penalty anymore? What the hell is a call anymore? What the hell happened to consistency? And also, I'm not a huge fan of the whole pass interference challenging. Well, that and also Mike Zimmer is horrible at challenging calls, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I mean, the refereeing this year is just making the game so difficult to watch, and I think a lot of football fans will agree with me on that one. The problem is, at the end of the year, or just sometime soon, they're going to need to sit down and decide how the hell are they going to call the rules. And call them throughout the whole league. And for crying out loud, there's some calls that get called where you literally sneeze on the guy. I mean, you got to be able to hit a little bit here. I mean, it's still football. That's kind of the whole idea of the game, tackling. And what the hell is a tackle anymore, Seems like every year there's a big issue. A couple of years ago, it was what was a catch. This year, it's what is a penalty. And why the hell, do all the pass interference calls. But as I said before, I could make like another 45-minute video. But anyway, to wrap it all up, the Minnesota Vikings need to execute on all 3 phases and slow down Carson Wentz. And we have a shot to win. So, before I babble on too much longer here, this is Jacob, and have a good night, Skol Vikings.